Number six. Number six, we have the focus and the directrix this time. The directrix is higher up than the focus, so this is a case of DVF. So again, we have the focus is at the bottom, so the parabola is going to open down. So the focus is 712. That means the vertex is going to be 7 something. So the total distance from D to F is 8. So half of 8 is 4. So if I go 20 down from 24, I should be at 16. And same thing here. If I went from 16 to 12, I went 4 down. So again, the vertex is always smack in the middle, so it's always halfway. So I now have my vertex, and I can find A, again using 1 over 2 times the distance. So it's 1 over 2 times 8, which is 1 over 16. So now when I write the equation, again, the parabola is facing down, so that means A is negative. So y equals negative 1 over 16 x minus 7 squared plus 16. Number 7, they give us the equation and want us to find the focus, the directrix, and the lattice rectum. So the vertex has a coordinate of 3, 4. The parabola opens up because A is positive. So that means it's a case of focus, vertex, directrix. So our focus is going to be 3 something. Our directrix is going to be y equals something. It's always got to be y equals. You could use the formulas that he provided, or just common sense, like I'm about to demonstrate, because I don't know if those formulas are going to be provided on the test. So I don't want you to have something else you have to memorize. So again, A is equal to 1 over 2 times the distance. Well, A in this problem is 2. So to solve this, we got to work backwards and figure out what the total distance is. I suggest put 2 over 1 and then cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you would have 1 times 1, which is 1, is equal to 2 times 2, which is 4, times your distance. And then to get distance by itself, you have to divide by 4 on both sides. So you would have 1 over 4 is equal to your distance. So again, distance is the total distance from F to D. 1 over 4. So now you have to figure out what is half of 1 over 4, or what is 1 over 4 divided by 2. You could use a calculator if you need to, but 1 over 4 divided by 2 is 1/8. So the distance between your focus and your vertex is 1/8. The distance between your vertex and your directrix is also 1/8. So now I need to add 1/8 to 4 if I want to get the y value for your focus. I'm going to have to subtract 1/8 from 4 if I want the y value of my directrix. So 4 plus 1/8 is 33/8. So that's the y value of our focus. And again, I'm going to have to subtract if I want the y value of the directrix. So it's 31 eighths. So 33 eighths for the first one and 31 eighths for the bottom one. So here's my focus. Here's my directrix. Now I gotta find the lattice rectum. So the lattice rectum, I will use the formula. It's absolute value of 1 over A, so the absolute value of 1 over 2 in this case. And the absolute value of 1 over 2 is simply 1 over 2. So that's my lattice rectum. So that's everything I needed. For number 8, it's a similar question, but it's not written in vertex form. So we first have to find the vertex. It's written in standard form. And in standard form, we need A, B, C's. So A is 3, B is 24, C is 37. So I got to find the x value first, finding the axis of symmetry, which is opposite B over 2A. So opposite of B is negative 24. A is 3. So that's negative 24 over 6, which would give me a negative 4. We then have to plug in negative 4 for every x value to find the y value. And again, you're welcome to use a calculator if you don't want to do this by hand. And again, for the life of me, do not tell me that when I square a negative, I get a negative answer, because you are wrong. Negative 4 squared is positive 16. Positive 16 times 3 is positive 48. 24 times negative 4 is going to give me a negative 96. And then plus 37. 48 minus 96 is going to be 38. Negative 38. Sorry, negative 48. Negative 48. Negative 48 plus 37 is going to be negative 11. So with that being said, my vertex has the coordinates negative 4, negative 11. And again, A is positive. So this is a case of F, V, D. Our vertex is negative 4, negative 11. Our focus has the same x value. And our directrix has y equals. So let's work backwards to figure out how A can help me find the distance. So A, again, is 3, and that's equal to 1 over 2 times the distance. So put 3 over 1. Cross multiply. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 2 is 6 times your distance. So that means distance is 1 over 6. So F to D is 1 over 6. So that means V to F is 1 over 12. And V to D is 1 over 12. So again, I'm going to have to add to get to my focus, but I'll have to subtract to get to my directrix. So negative 11 this time plus 1/12. And I need to now subtract. So the y value for the focus is negative 131 over 12. The y value for the directrix is negative 133 over 12. So again, I have the focus, I have the directrix, now to the lattice rectum, which is equal to the absolute value of 1 over a. So that means the lattice rectum is 1/3. 9. Find the quadratic equation that has a vertex of negative 5, negative 7, passes through the point negative 3, negative 31. So, in this particular problem, we don't have A and we only have 2 points. So we cannot use regression. We're going to have to use the vertex form of the equation, which is y equals a x minus h squared plus k. We use the vertex as hk like we always do, but we're going to use the point as xy. Put everything where it belongs. So negative 31 equals a, we don't know. X is negative 3 minus h, which is negative 5 squared plus k, which is negative 7. Start inside the parentheses, so negative 31 is equal to a. In the parentheses, I have negative 3 minus negative 5, which is going to give you a positive 2. If you don't understand why, please consult the calculator. And then plus negative simply means just minus 7. I then would square my 2, which means negative 31 is equal to a times 4 minus 7. I'm solving for a, so I need to add 7 next to negative 31 in itself, which gives me negative 24 is equal to a times 4. And then divide both sides by 4, so a negative 6 is equal to a. Now that I have the value of a, I can write my equation. So y is equal to negative 6, parentheses, x plus 5. We're not going to leave it as a minus a negative. Remember, just do the opposite when you put it in the house. So x plus 5 squared, then minus 7. Final answer. So that's how you would do a problem like this when you don't have A and you don't have a focus or directrix or any or enough another point to do regression. So same idea for number 10. Again, here's H, here's K. This is X, this is Y. The equation is Y equals A parentheses X minus H squared plus K. So sub in the values where they belong correctly. So y is 11. It's x, which is negative 2, minus h, which is 2, squared, plus k, which is 3. So bring down your 11. Take care of the parentheses first. So negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. Again, we're squaring a negative, and it's always a positive. So 11 is equal to a parentheses times 16. Now we get rid of the 3 by subtracting from both sides. So you would get 8 is equal to a times 16. Then you divide both sides by 16. I'll show this step just because I want you to see that we're, again, dividing by a bigger number than the top. So yes, it should be a fraction or a decimal, but I want your answers as fractions in lowest terms. So therefore, you would get 1 over 2 is equal to a, which means as an equation, we would say y is equal to 1 over 2 x minus 2 squared plus 3. Final answer. Let's take a break. See you in a bit. These first 10 are the only 10 problems from the current unit. We're now about to practice some stuff from the past.